I was asked a question by one of my mentees, and to sum up the question, they want me to talk about the idea of the mental health and the emotions on my day to day experience trading for the past like 9 to 10 years. How did that go? How did it evolve? And what are some things that I have to say about that particular topic? So for me, trading has been a long journey so far. Again, 9 years, going on 10 into it. I've been trading since I was a young man, moving into, being 25, which I am now. And throughout that journey, you're going to become different people. And you're going to have a voice in your head per person. So when I was a young man at 15 years old working at Burger King, I have the working man voice. And maybe even the kids before. I can still remember being 8 years old and having dreams of, fancy cars and mansions. So I also have the voice of the guy who did pass in the military and wanted to give his life for his country. And then I have the man that's 21 and realized that becoming a millionaire isn't too far away. And now I have myself. There's a lot of different voices. You might find it cringy, but I find this very necessary. If you can understand that you have different people in your head because all of your goals were different along your stages, because you learn that you try things, it's not really what you want, then you can change, and that is okay. You have to be okay with changing. Correlating this to trading, for one, a lot of traders are going to learn their strategy from someone. When you learn something from someone and you don't have the reasoning behind why the stuff exists, it's very easy to do it. Then you fail at it, and then you question why you're even doing this in the first place, because it wasn't yours. So of course you would just throw it away. If you don't understand the backstory, if you don't have a good enough story to want to abide by it, you're not going to love it, and you're not going to fight for it. So as a human being, and we love entertainment, we love movies. And when we get to watch these movies, you'll watch a karate movie and probably start throwing kicks right afterwards because you get motivated to do things. Along my journey of failure, I'm experiencing a lot. I'm losing money that I've worked really hard for. And for a long time, I do have that 8-year-old in me who's like, yeah, mansions and exotic cars. And then the 15-year-old in me that's like, yeah, that's not going to happen, bro. $600 a paycheck for fast food? Insane. And then the dude who passes, boot camp, who is in the military and is experiencing every paycheck paying off debt, because I decided to go in debt in order to put it into trading and gambled my entire savings away plus a loan. Along that journey, imagine, I'll put you in the headspace for a second. I'm 18 years old. I'm in school, a schoolhouse for the military. My paycheck's like $900 a month. And my bill for my loan is around, I'm gonna say 800, and then slowly increasing to $1,000 a month for the loan that I had with Navy Fed. Every paycheck that I get goes straight to the loan, and I don't have any money for myself. So then all the other people are asking me to go out and do things, and I can't go out. If I'm not going out, guess what I'm probably doing? Trying to look for the next trade, trying to see if I can scrounge up a little bit of money from somewhere else or do some side jobs to make some bread. Now I'm going searching up for e-commerce and all different things. For me, a long time, I'm trying trading, and every time trading's not working for me, I'm looking to get money elsewhere because trading requires money. And every time I go to try and make money elsewhere, the money feels slow because I've made some profits from trading, but I just didn't get to keep it because I ended up betting bigger. In trading, I'm experiencing, $1,000 trade. That was fast. That was easy. I'm setting my mind up to like fast money. Now I'm taking big trades and taking fast losses. For me, I'm going out to make money and it just doesn't feel right. In my head, I'm like, all right, I don't want to work for money. If I can run a business, cool, but I don't want to work for money. And right now, everything that I'm doing is technically working. If I'm going to go buy something to sell it for more, there's a lot of work involved in that, especially if you're a one-man team. And if you're like myself, you didn't grow up with money. So that means you were taught to do everything with your own two hands. Imagine trying to move mountains with two hands. It doesn't work. But if you had money, you can buy an entire team and do what needs to be done. I needed to revamp my mind. As a young man, I was like, I need a voice that's a millionaire. I need him to tell me that it's okay to lose 40 grand. It's okay to lose 40 grand because if I was a millionaire, this 40 grand is necessary for whatever investment I'm going for, and it's disposable. At that time, it didn't feel disposable, I will tell you that. But from that voice, it put me in a position of feeling that way. And I was like, yeah, 40 grand to become a millionaire? Yeah, I'll do it again. You know what I mean? I didn't have the means of doing it again, but I would do it again. For me, in that stage, I'm learning trading, I'm doing the thing, I'm clocking in, and I'm trying to turn $100 into a lot of money. It's very difficult trying to have a millionaire mindset when you don't got $1 million. Leverage was a big thing that I needed to learn for myself. I started studying credit. How do I get more credit cards in order to get funding, in order to like at least keep my debt at bay? Now I'm using credit cards to pay off my loans instead of my own paychecks. That was bad as well, because now I'm accumulating more debt and I'm using my paychecks to continue trading. Very difficult. So that lasted for a good 3 to 4 years. And I'm going really deep into debt, and I'm actually thinking I'm not going to be able to make it out of this because the money is getting a little too far away from me and interest is going a little too high, and I'm probably not going to be able to make the payments. But I've heard a lot of people going bankrupt and they're still alive and chilling. And if I got to do some 2 years in prison or something like that over money, sure, let's do it. You know what I mean? I've already done all this stuff, and at least I tried. That was my headspace, bro. I was thinking like, it wasn't a fact of like, I should stop trading. It was just like, what is the worst that can happen to me right now? And if I can't pay my debt, I'll go to prison. Sure, dude, I'm in the military because I just wanted to eat and have a place to stay so I can study. If I go to prison, nothing changed. The environment might look different, but I'm gonna still probably do the same thing. Still gonna study. For me, it was just a means of like, it's gonna happen, I just don't know when. And anything that happens along the way is just gonna make the story greater. Along that journey, bro, 2021 comes through and saves my life. I was able to actually invest some money into a really good trade, and it did exactly what I thought it would. But it required me to stay on that journey for 4 years of not seeing another dollar from one bad mistake that I made the way that I did when I was young. You know, so along that journey, I had a lot of mentors. And unfortunately, though I had one mentor that was real physical, but most of the other mentors were just myself, voices that I created that I needed to talk to and say like, hey, you're about to enter this trade right now. What has got you so confident about this? And now I need to explain to myself why. And can I convince myself that it makes sense? You know, and if it does make sense, and it's like, all right, are we all cool with putting this money on this trade? And it's like, cool. If we are, then we're all going to take this loss together. And when I started doing it that way, it just felt like I actually had a team behind me, you know, with the trading experience. When it came down to being a disciplined trader or keeping consistency, it wasn't about, you know, waking up and making my bed and then hitting the gym and then putting good food in my body and then meditating before I go into trade. It was just more about like, dude, in the military, you're going to show up, get stuff done. You have no idea what they want you there to do anyway, because you're not told until you get there, and then you just have to do it. Whenever I pop up in front of a chart, I don't look back at any time frames. I'm not doing anything. What is in front of me right now, and why would this thing move up and why would it move down? It only goes two ways. Is it really that hard? Every time I lose a trade, someone else is taking the money from me because they won the trade. So that means I'm just ass. If that's the position I'm putting myself in, then I just need to get better. Somebody's obviously doing it better than I am. That put me in the journey of saying, okay, someone's doing this really well, I'm doing this really bad. That means someone is doing it, and everything that another man has done, if I really wanted to, I could get it done too. That was my mindset. That's what I thought. I'm living like this. Every time I lost money, it was just a tax, or it was like an investment to school. I never went to school, so I never paid tuition. And I know people who go in $100,000 worth of debt just to get a degree and might not even get the job. And I'm looking at $40,000 worth of debt as not enough for me to become a millionaire. You know, I had to reframe that mind. After reframing my mind, emotions couldn't exist anymore. Emotions would only happen when I didn't have enough money and my boys are like, yo, let's go out to go do this. Now I'm the guy that's lame because I'm not, nah, bro, I can't go. I got to hit the gym and, you know, I'm on a journey right now fixing my body. I have to make up an excuse because I can't afford going out with you, bro. You know what I mean? That's really what it was. But it was keeping me in alignment with so many things. And I got to realize, like, all the times that I skipped out on all those types of situations is exactly the experiences that added up to create the life that I get to live today. And I don't regret it at all, actually. You know, although those were very good times and I've had a lot of them and sprinkled in there in my journey, it was worth it, you know? And that being said, if it's worth it, then that's something that's required of you. If you aren't there yet, it's required of you. You know, if you have those experiences that are popping up for yourself where you feel like trading is something that you just can't crack, or man, I'm about to give up on this thing. Really envision for the next 5 years that you give up on trading and you go back to doing whatever you're doing right now. Do you really think in 5 years it changes? Because for me, it didn't. I was still doing the same thing year after year and realizing for myself that the only thing that was really progressing was the fact that I'm losing less money in trading and we're getting really close to the numbers to be consistently green. After I actually made enough money to pay off my debt, it was game time. The goal was to just get the tuition paid, get the degree. Once the degree was paid, it was like, all right, cool. I just need to do that more. You know what I mean? So when I started putting myself in that position, it was up from there. Because now I know I'm not putting 40 grand on no trade if I don't have it. And hard lessons learned, you might say it's a no-brainer. Kids don't listen. You know what I mean? We got to do what we got to do. That ideology, bro, has led me to a lot of mental ideologies where emotion couldn't exist in certain fields. You know, I like to think about life as war, just like the war series that we're creating. You don't get to feel, you know what I mean? You just got to do. And when it comes down to trading, you really just got to do it, bro. If you're not putting in enough hours studying, it's going to show because you're a direct reflection of what you do. If you take a trade, was it impulsive? Why'd you fail? There's a reason why you failed. And if there isn't, then it's your fault. And now you're falling into impulses and instances rather than you're falling into not actually being a good trader, not having a good setup. You really need to be serious with yourself and tell yourself, like, bro, you just lost this trade. Why? Why did you take that? And now you get to look at yourself in the mirror and say, now I was just being dumb. I was bored, right? If you're falling into these pieces, those are going to take you and spread your journey over years, just like it did for me, when you can be way more intentional with it and instead just focus on the strategy and execution. The charts are not going anywhere. The stocks are not going anywhere. If the stock market stops moving, you have bigger problems. You know what I mean? There's no point of taking this trade today, right now, if it doesn't look right. Trade tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, there's always another trading day. Do not put yourself in a position where you have 8 consistent great days and you lose it all in one. Because now you have 2 characters. Think about 2 different people right there. There's one dude who's really putting in work, really putting in consistency. And then there's this other dude who just comes in and messes all your stuff up. Why are you keep letting bro in your house? You know what I mean? Like, he's not allowed here no more. That's literally how I would talk to myself. He's not allowed here anymore. The moment I hear myself putting into that position, closing up shop, I don't even know where I'm here right now. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to go do something else, and I'll come back with a better mindset. If you can't do that for yourself, then you're going to fall victim to a lot of setbacks. And a lot of setbacks are going to cost you a lot of time. And a lot of time is going to cost you a lot of money. So if you do not, like Alex Mosey says, if you don't know how to make $1 million a year, it's costing you $1 million a year. And after I heard that, it made me really think about it and say, wow, my goal is to make $10 million. But doing that through trading, bro, seems unfathomable, but it's costing me this much every year. I need to leverage bigger, and I need to put myself into different atmospheres. I'm on a journey still, just like you are. But you, if this is the question, that you have about the emotion and mental stability of it, you aren't where you want to be. There's no reason why you should even be thinking of who you are right now. You should be thinking about who you are becoming. And sometimes it requires you to act as that person now before you actually become them. Think from that perspective. Would he do this? You know what I mean? That would be my advice, to be honest. And that's a lot of my journey from, the 10 years of trading that I will say. It all boils down to the impulses and the things that you tell yourself in your head. Because every time you speak, you really do hear yourself. And when you hear yourself, you internalize it. And everyone else around you is going to prove a reflection of yourself. If people are calling you a failure, it's because that's all they can see. You're not giving them a reason to say otherwise. So if you're taking in all of that stuff and then you're repeating it as well, it's probably who you're going to become. You need to be your own friend and tell yourself what you need to hear in order to be your mentor and take yourself where you need to go. Because no one else is going to do that for you, bro. And even when you do, and that person who is trying to help you up will be the first person to also try to knock you down when you pass them, because no one also wants to see you do better than them. It takes a certain kind of person, you know what I mean? You need to take your journey for you and just don't allow people to go too far into your own head. You know, really do your research, and everything that everyone else says should be taken as a suggestion, and you need accountability with your actions.